It was blatantly missed, and it was the NFL's worst nightmare coming true. And that's a case of a major call deciding the end of a game. And that's what happened there. Now, granted, the Saints had the chance in overtime to win it, but either way, cut or dry, if that call is made, game's over, Saints are going to the Super Bowl. More than likely. Like I said, if that call is made, the Saints have a 98% chance of winning that game, according to FPI. It's troubling. It's really troubling. And the NFL is going to do something here. And they're going to do what I believe should have been done a long time ago. In the final 2 minutes of a game, a head coach should be allowed to challenge pass interference and holding calls and roughing the passer calls. Plain and simple. Because those are three major calls that can factor into a game, especially late. And that's what happened in New Orleans. The NFL is going to make a rule change here, folks. And it may be, hey, you get 2 challenges in the final 2 minutes of the game. Or it may be you get 2 reviewable challenges and then you get 2 challenges for pass interference or roughing the passer. Or they might make it collectively, pass interference is now a reviewable challenge. And that may be what we go to now. You may see the NFL make the rules change of any pass interference call is up for review. Whether it's in the final 2 minutes of the game or the first half of the game, it's reviewable. But the NFL is going to make a change here because, like I said, their worst nightmare came true. And that is a referee missing a pass interference call and it costing the team a game. And that's what happened yesterday. Like it or not, and yes, did the Saints have opportunities to win? Other than that, absolutely they did. If they score touchdowns instead of field goals early in the game, they're never in that position with about 2 minutes left in the game. The game never goes to overtime. If they don't throw the ball and run the ball there and control the clock, that never happens. They probably win the game. There's plenty of ways that you can go. But either way you cut it, the ball was thrown and the call was missed. Plain and simple. And that's what the NFL needs to look at here. Not the factor of, well, the Saints, they had an opportunity to win here. Well, if they didn't kick field goals, they wouldn't have been in this position. Or if they would have ran the ball, they wouldn't have had to do this. Cut and dry, the refs missed the call. And you could see the refs after, especially the head ref, he's trying to keep Sean Payton calm because he knows that was a bad missed call. And immediately following the game, the one chief referee came up to Sean Payton and apologized. Said, I'm sorry. We blew it. The NFL called Sean Payton. Hey, I'm sorry. We blew it. That doesn't change nothing. That doesn't send the Saints to the Super Bowl. Now, in my opinion, turn the lights on, get their asses back on the field, set the clock to 1:45, and replay the game from that point. Because like it or not, Rams fans, if that call isn't made, Saints are going to the Super Bowl. Plain and simple. But expect a rule change here. I don't know exactly what it will be. Will it be all pass interference calls are reviewable? Or will it be in the final 2 minutes of a game, all calls are reviewable? It's going to be something to either extent. But expect a major rule change because of what happened yesterday evening. Expect a major rule change. And were there calls missed in Chiefs-Patriots? Yes, there was. But it didn't decide the game. The offsides on Dee Ford, it was the right call. He was offsides. The call was made. Like it or not, whether you're a Patriots fan or not, it was the right call. But with the Saints-Rams, that call got magnetized because it cost the Saints the game. And because it was so blatant. And it's sad. And there's a good chance that one or two referees get fired because of this. But expect a major rule change this offseason regarding refereeing in the final 2 minutes and what's challengeable. Because we're either going to go to everything is challengeable, or pass interference is now challengeable, or we're going to go to anything called in the final 2 minutes of a game is challengeable. There's going to be changes made here. And look, Rams fans, I'm sorry, but if you do win this Super Bowl, the only thing that you're going to hear is, well, yeah, you did, yeah, you won it, but if the refs make that call, Saints are going to the Super Bowl. You know, I even know some people that are Rams fans, they heard it after the game. Well, yeah, you're going to the Super Bowl, but if the ref makes that call, you're not going. And it's the truth. And look, I'm not big on the Rams. You know, I like Goff, I like McVay. You know, what they're doing is, you know, great and all that, but I'm just not big on them. I'm not big on all of their new fanatics all of a sudden, let's call them that. Bandwagon is the correct term, bandwagon. I know people that all of a sudden know Goff and Gurley that had no idea who the hell they were before this. But it's the truth. If they win this Super Bowl, they're going to hear it for the rest of the time. Yeah, you got there. Yeah, you won it. But if the ref doesn't miss that call, you're not going. Because they're hearing it now. Like it or not, Rams Nation, you are hearing it right now. Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. Yay, woo, woo, woo. And I'm not saying don't celebrate. You should. It's not the Rams' fault that the refs missed that call. You know, it's not the corner's fault, Polly, for the Rams. It's not his fault. He even admitted after the game. He said, hey, I'm sorry, Saints fan. It was pass interference, but I didn't want to give up the touchdown. He was truthful, honest. But it was a bad call. Jared Goff knows it. Sean McVay knows it. Every Rams fan knows it. And every Rams fan knows that they're going to hear it for the rest of the time. Yeah, you won the NFC Championship. Yeah, you got to the Super Bowl. But if one ref throws the flag, you're not going. And that's the truth. I wonder, you know what I wonder? As many people that don't like the Patriots, the way the Rams won that game, do you think that there were a couple people that don't like New England that all of a sudden said, damn, I hope New England beats their ass? Even now, granted, New England's game wasn't played then, but when it was all said and done and we knew who was playing, do you think that there were some people out there that despise the Patriots, that don't like them, that sat there and saw how the Rams won and said, you know what, I hope the Patriots wipe the floor with their ass? Because I'm a Patriots fan. And after that Rams-Saints game, before the Chiefs and Patriots were even playing, I said, if the Patriots don't win, I hope the Chiefs wipe the ass of the field with the Rams. I hope they blow them out by 50. Now I'm sitting here as a Patriots fan saying, I hope we beat their ass. Now, granted, it's not the Rams' fault. They won it. They did what they needed to do. And again, Saints had plenty of opportunities to put that game away. They had plenty of opportunities to win that game. But when it comes down to it, a missed call is what costed them the game. And that was the NFL's worst nightmare, was having a situation like that in the playoffs cost the team a game, especially a Super Bowl appearance. And that's what happened here. And you got to feel for Sean Payton and Drew Brees and that whole Saints squad. Of what happened last season in Minnesota, granted that wasn't the NFC Championship game, but it was the game to get to it. And I've heard a lot of players and coaches say losing the championship game is harder than losing the Super Bowl. Because at least with the Super Bowl, you can say that you got there. With the championship game, you were that close. And I've heard plenty Jimmy Johnson said it on Fox after that game. He said, this hurts more than losing a Super Bowl. This hurts more. These are the ones that you never truly get over. And even Sean Payton said, we'll move on, but we'll never get over this. And Sean Payton was a man there. The way he did the interview right after the game, the way he did the press conferences after the game, there were 1,000 different ways that he could have went. But he manned it up. And he did it the way that a head coach and a man should handle. And I applaud him for that. Because if that was me, oh gosh, I would be throwing chairs. I would be saying, Roger Goodell, get your ass down here, reset that clock. Rule 17, Article A, let's go. And that's something that Michael Thomas put up in his Twitter. And that's a rule that states where if the commissioner feels that there was an unfair advantage for a team that egregiously costed them the game, that he could call for that game to be replayed at that specific time. So Roger Goodell does have the power to sit there and say, hey, this call was so blatantly missed and was so bad that we're going to go back to New Orleans, we're going to reset that clock, and we're going to be first and goal, Saints on the 10. Now, that's not going to happen because that rule doesn't really pertain to the referees missing calls. That rule was made for if a fan runs onto the field and trips up a player and he doesn't get in the end zone and the clock runs out and they lose the game. Or some player runs off the bench and makes a tackle and the referees don't see it and it costs them the game. That's why that rule was implemented. And a little fact here, that rule got implemented after the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl. Because on the sideline, Ravens took a safety. It was 34-31 Ravens. 49ers were getting the ball. Flacco, being mic'd up on the sideline, tells Harbaugh and the players, hey, if it even looks like he's going to run this back, I'm running out here and tackling his ass. What are they going to do? Game's over. That's why that rule, 17 Article A, was implemented. Because of that. And look, again, it's unfortunate. It was a terrible call. But yes, the Saints had other opportunities to put that game away. Like it or not, it's not the Rams' fault. You can say that there's an asterisk by them getting to the Super Bowl. You can be as pissed off as you want, and trust me, I was extremely pissed off when I saw that happen. But they had the opportunities. And they had the ball first in overtime, which usually favors the team. But I just don't think they could get over that pass interference call. And you could tell. The look on the player's face, the energy on the sideline, you could tell. Even going into overtime, with a chance to still win the game, you can see they're still in shock. They're not over. Which, I don't hold against them at all. Some people are holding that against them. Well, put your ass in that situation. That would be something hard to get over. Something hard to comprehend. Like, how the fuck did he miss that call? How do you miss that? And really, that's what I said. When I was sitting at home watching it, I said, how the fuck do you miss that call? How do you miss that? There's no way you can miss that. And look, it sucks. And there is going to be rule changes. We'll have to see in the off-season what they will be. But there's going to be changes made. Well, news out of Philly this evening. I don't know if you all caught this because it was kind of mid-afternoon, late evening. But some Eagles players went to Twitter to defend Wentz. And this is why. The Philly Voice published a report which team sources describe Wentz as selfish, uncompromising, and egotistical. The report cites more than half a dozen Eagle players and other sources close to the team that obviously decided to remain anonymous. I don't know how true this is. I imagine there are some players